Welcome everyone. Welcome to the DLeader Coach Café. As usual, we are here with a coach and we are going to explore why we need this skill coaching with our daily life. Today we have an exceptional guest with us. He's Mr. Rajeeb Rashid Bhai. He is one of our Bangladeshi and currently living in Hong Kong as an entrepreneur and well-being coach. And we are going to introduce our Rajeeb Bhai a little bit later. But before that, we just need to make sure we all know that why we are here together. Coaching in this time, world globally is very new phenomena. So lots of us have curiosity. What is it? And do we need a coach? So to get the answer of these two questions, each month, the leader organize a coach cafe with a coach, sharing the journey, the exploration and transformation of the mindset of those coaches to know what is coaching, why we need coaching, and how, if we wish, how we can become a coach. So, welcome to the episode Being a Coach, how we can create impact to others and ourselves as a coach. And today we will explore this journey, being a coach, how to create an impact, how to and live with curiosity and develop the mindset of a coach. We have Rajeeb Rashid Bhai. Yes, he's a well-being coach and he's currently working. How a person can ensure his or her wellness in the meantime being living the corporate, professional, and personal life. Rajib Bhai also has decades of experience in banking area as well as currently involved as an entrepreneur in Hong Kong. And when I first met Rajiv Bhai, he shared why he's an entrepreneur now because he loves and passionate to serve people to ensure their health and wellness through food. You can guess his entrepreneurial platform is a restaurant. And we all know one phrase that necessity is the mother of innovation. So when Rajiv Bhai was exploring how he can ensure good health to his precious child, he explored how actually good health and well-being, our body, our mind, our spiritual arena can change all of our life. He started to become a coach. Today we will listen all his stories and we will also learn from Rajiv Bhai if we all wish to become a well-being coach like Rajiv Bhai, how we can do that and how we can be that. And before passing this steering to Rajiv Bhai, there is some queries you have shared I want to answer that how you can ask question to Rajiv Bhai. Yes, if you want to know something from Rajiv Bhai, you can comment on our live streaming YouTube or Facebook and LinkedIn area, and you also can join the Zoom link provided in the event page, so you can join and share and also ask your question, or you also can share your stories if it's matched with Rajiv Bhai's story. So be with us for this 1 hour. Let's explore this adventurous journey with Rajeeb Rashid Bhai, how we can become a well-being coach. Rajeeb Bhai, how are you?
Well, wonderful. Thank you so much, Shabnam. It's really a privilege to be here with you. It's amazing the work that you do. When we spoke for the first time, I was really impressed about all that you do and the work that is going on around coaching space. So it has been a privilege, and thank you for inviting me here today. I've been well. It's pretty cold still in Hong Kong compared probably in Bangladesh. It's not that cold as far as I've heard from my mom. So yeah, I've been in Hong Kong for a while. I was in London before coming to Hong Kong, and I was doing something else with HSBC. But then I left the organization a couple of years back, and right now more or less into yeah, as you mentioned, enterprises looking after, invested in some business and looking after it, as well as I continue to do coaching, which I love most to do. I wish I could do that more, but yeah, I think we have to carry on. So again, thank you, Shabnam, for inviting me. I will talk about a little bit about myself, and then I'll share the agenda, what we could cover. We have 45 minutes or so, probably, before the question and answer, and open this forum for everyone, whoever has any question or um, curiosity, which I love a lot in human being.
That's a
So
wonderful plan. We are waiting. Thank you.
right, thank you, Shabnam. So yeah, about me. So my As I said, I used to do some other things in my past career, but I started looking into coaching incidentally. Actually, I was not planning to be a coach, but I was not sure what to do as well. So I was more or less not happy with the traditional healthcare, the way it currently um, sort of keeps us like we are forced to comply, right? We will be sick, we'll go to a doctor, and they'll prescribe something, and then we'll come back, we'll have those medicine or not, and then maybe we'll recover, and then we'll forget about it, and then waiting to be sick again. So this is something I was not very happy. So I was studying, researching, and um, figured that at this age, probably I'll not be able to study medicine from scratch. But after researching quite a bit, I discovered that there is a profession called health coaching. So that's something was interesting for me, and I invested almost 2 years into it, and quite a bit of money to learn it properly. And since then, I'm working as a coach. Um, and yeah, personally, I love curiosity in human being. I love respect. When I see respect among people, that is something inspires me. I love to read a lot of books, a good walk, having tea with my kid. So these are something that I look for as a person, as a human being. So yeah, more or less that's all I have about me. Uh, let me share a bit of a few couple of slides that I have prepared. Probably it will help us to be a little bit structured during our conversation. And but feel free to ask me any question, whatever you are thinking. If you have anything, just feel free to ask. In the meantime, let me share. Okay, so right. Shabnam, can you see the screen now?
It's taking some time. Yeah, it's visible. You just need to click. Yeah,
It's a blank screen now, right?
yeah, blank.
Okay.
You are working on.
What do you see now? Is it the agenda slide now?
Yeah, it's the agenda slide.
Okay. All right. So yeah, so this is what I think when I was having a
Just a
chat.
moment here, Rajeeb bhaiya, you need
Sure,
to do
sure.
maybe the slideshow.
Oh, it's not showing that
It's
yet?
showing, but full screen we can see. So if you can do the slideshow, it would be great.
Oh, you can see hang on.
Yeah, great. Now it's perfect. Thank you.
Is it gone now?
It's gone.
Hang on. Now I'm trying to figure out the way to just give me one quick second, please. Okay. So if I do this, okay, what do you see now? Is it good enough?
We need to see the left one. Yes, the audience window.
Yeah, audience window. Okay, but then I need to see the notes that I have for me. Just trying to figure out what to do here. It's not staying there, right? Anyway, so I'll try to.
You can continue with this.
Okay, let me do this. Give me one more.
Okay, no
Okay.
worries.
So
It's
yeah,
just
so let me
cafe, so we
let
can,
me
yeah.
stop share. And what I do now is I will share only Canva. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it's
yeah,
good. We can
yeah,
watch, yeah.
yeah. So now it should be okay. I'm too old for this, so understanding how
Oh,
these
same
different
happening.
apps.
We are in the growing phase from introductory, so no worry. It's a journey, good journey of learning
Right.
together.
Hey, listen, can you see the screen now? Full
Yes,
screen.
the audience enter full screen button we can see. Maybe you need to cut, yes. Now it's good.
Okay. Yeah. Is it still there or it moved?
No, it's still there. Agenda we can see
Okay.
perfectly.
Okay. At last. Great. Thank you so much for bearing with me. Yeah. So, yeah, so this is what we thought to cover today. That we'll talk about a little bit of life, what life is from an existential point of view. And then we'll talk about coaching. We'll talk about wellness coaching, and then how even I can prepare for this profession of wellness coaching and question and answer. So this is more or less what I have in my mind. But Shabnam and any in the audience, any at any point of time, if you have any question, just stop me and ask. Okay, so this is what I want to start with, and this is the only image that I'll share. I promise. So I'm not going to bother you with a lot of images, but this is an important image for me to understand what life is and from where coaching comes in. So probably have you all have heard about the story of Sisyphus, Albert Camus. So what this story tells us is this character Sisyphus was cast into this struggle of, the tension between okay, so from this story, first of all, he was condemned by the gods, so called, to eternally push this stone, this boulder, uphill, only for it to roll back down each time he reaches to the top. So this is his life, right? So this is, and there is a background, and there is a conclusion. So I'm not getting to the full story here, but the summary of this story is that he's the reason why this story is so famous and this character is so famous is that this he's continuing to do this carrying of huge stone uphill only to come back again and start. So it resembles a little bit, and then it is not only what he is doing, he's also managing all the external factors that we see in this photograph. There are a lot of other characters, a storm, there is war going on, and so much of stuff is going on around him, and still he's doing what he's supposed to. So this is something left a mark in my mind, which tells a lot about what our life is, where life is all about struggle. Wherever we are in our own circumstances, we are all facing some sort of struggle, and we are carrying on with it. Now, this is this is exactly where this question of personal agency comes in. So, what do we mean by that? Personal agency is what we choose to respond about wherever we are, whatever the stimulus is, whatever life is throwing at us, and how we are responding to it, right? So, there is a stimuli and there is a response. In between, there is a space. Now, what coaching does is it teaches us in that space how we are going to respond to that stimuli. So that's all about coaching. If you want to take away only one idea or concept from this conversation, it's all about that specific space where you get to choose, where you get to pause, take a pause and think. Um, and it's a reminder for me as well to think how I'm going to respond to that event or that person or that environment or whatever is life throwing at me. And it is difficult to do it by ourselves because I couldn't do it before learning anything, all the tools and meeting all the great people that I met during my training. I was not aware of, how to respond to um, situations, events, circumstances, people. And so I did what I could. And most of the time, many of the time, it was not right. It was not the perfect response. And then we are not perfect as a species, right? We'll do mistakes, whatever great coach we become. Still, we will continue to take wrong step and learn from it. So it's a continuous process. So coaching is similarly very much continuous process. And me as a coach, I do have my coach. So does Shabnam. So every coach, as from an ethical demand point of view, it's obligatory for us to have our own coaches, so that we continue to clear our head and mind with whatever thoughts, whatever ideas are coming in, the client we are talking to, or the things that are going on with us. Um, Yeah, so that's more or less. I'm trying to sort of paint a picture for you to understand, to see life as life is, rather than making it very vague and very colorful. So life is struggle. The earliest we accept that, it's better for us, and within this struggle, like Sisyphus, he did accept his fate, and he continues to do that, to carry that big stone, um, as a response to his circumstances, to his environment. So that's it. Now, that's all about life that I wanted to talk about. Now, what I also wanted to share is what coaching is. uh, is the screen showing the slide, coaching
Uh,
concept,
Here
Adnan?
it's showing the agenda slide. Do you please change to coaching slide?
It was not showing
No,
the picture that I was talking about.
no.
That's a shame. Is it showing the picture now?
No, it would be great if you just show your screen, not like this, the earlier, but would be comfortable for you. Yes, we
Yeah,
can
so
see
this,
by this. You can
yeah,
keep it like this.
okay. Right. So this is the picture. It was a shame. Sorry that I was referring to this one. I thought you all are being able to look at it, but anyway.
We
So
all are learning together.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. So this is the Sisyphus character that I was referring to, where his life is all about this. He's carrying this boulder up the hill, and only to find that the stone is at the bottom of the hill again, and he's going down and picking it up and carrying it up. So despite of whatever is going on in his life, and so I was referring to this picture and trying to uh, you know find a resemblance with what our life is, and where coaching comes in, that where personal agency takes place, and we learn to choose how we are going to respond. Okay. Now, the next slide, what we wanted to talk about is the orientation of coaching. The structure of, as I said, the coaching takes place in the mess of life, right? And it's sometimes it is pretty much when client comes to us, it is pretty much obscure. It's very much obscure, vague. Um, um, how to say? It's very vague. Sometimes mysterious. Sometimes very chaotic. Um, um, but that is life, and within that messiness of life, coaching takes place. But the orientation from a coaching point of view, from a coach point of view, and from the client point of view, there has been many discussion around what would be the right orientation for coaching, and then we ended up with actually it's still, the discussion is still going on. But what I follow personally as a coach is the humanistic approach, where we see clients as a whole, fully resourced human being. Um, and we, as coaches, try to be where our client is, rather than looking at them from a judge or executioner point of view, and tell them what they are doing wrong, and suggest them what they could do better. So we do none of those, right? So that is where coaching is different. We take our client, it's a client-centric process where we partner with clients, and we shed some light to different corners where probably they are not looking at, and ask them whether they see any cue there that they can work on. So that's more or less how the orientation is. And also, it's very important for us in coaching, for both the client and the coach, to be here and now, rather than coming into the coaching session with all the struggle and hassles of the day, and being unmindful, and not figuring it out, and not thinking deep. So it's the primary agenda for us to be there in that session, both the coach and the client. And there has to be a desire. There has to be a necessity, and sometimes the reason is not there. Sometimes the reason is there and the necessity is not there. So what coach does for the client is they co-create a space with the client, to find out those desires, those needs, those reasons, for the client to make a change, probably, if that is what the client is looking at. um, yeah, so that's more or less about the orientation of the coaching process. From a mindset point of view, the mindset, that when we talk about mindset, it's more about the coach, whether the coach is in a position to coach, whether as a coach he is ready to offer, his or her services to a client, whether the client is actually, ready to take a coaching, to sit with a coach, open up, try to figure out things together. And this takes quite a bit of vulnerability, quite a bit of attention, quite a bit of presence between in both the coach and the client. So the coachability and is very important for both. There has to be a readiness. Often in my practice, I see I did coaching with organization when I was with my previous organization, and people team that I had teams who came for coaching only because their manager asked them to take a coaching or send them for a coaching, and this part of their duty. So in those scenarios, the readiness is not exactly how it should be for the clients and for those member of the team. So it is also a bit of a responsibility, which should not be on behalf of the coach, to understand whether the client that are sitting in front of them are ready for coaching, or they are here only because somebody asked them to show up. So the readiness is very important for success in coaching space. And for sure, the acceptability, whatever we are discussing, whether I'm open to, say, for example, Shabnam is my coach. When Shabnam is asking me a question, whether I'm ready to really listen what she is curious about, and think me as a client think about, yeah, that's a question. That's a good question. And what could be the right answer for it? What is there in my mind, in my situation? What are the emotion that is coming up when I hear my coach is asking about that particular thing? So it's a there has to be a acceptability between the coach and the client, for the subject, for the questions, for the ideas that are on the table. So yeah, I should I take a pause, Shabnam? Anything, any question from the
Uh,
audience?
Not any question. I'm just agreeing with you that yes, readiness is the main core part. Whether as a coach or client, I'm ready or not to
Mm,
have this relationship and
absolutely.
exploration.
Yes.
Yes, please go on.
Thank you. Yeah. So that was a bit of a coaching from where the concept comes in. And I previously spoke about the personal agency. So the coaching typically works in
Joe,
between that space that
you
I
can
talked
go.
about, that there has to be a stimuli, a need, something happened, and and I'm going to respond to that, whether somebody said something to me and I'm going to respond, or something happened in front of me and I'm going to respond, whether I'll be angry or whether I'll take off, or whether I want to go and get myself involved. So this response that I have and the stimuli in between that space, we as a human being, the specialty for us is to that we have the capability to choose, make choices, and this privilege that we have been given, the ability to choose, this is where our future shapes up the choices that we make on every day, on every second of the day, whatever choices we are making. So with a coach and a client, they mostly work in between that two events, the stimuli and the choices. And coach is there to sort of shed light to in that space for the client, so that the client can find the resource to make the right choice, or make the right choice for the client, not for the coach, of course. Okay, so for the next slide, we'll talk about wellness coaching. Since I'm my specialty, and now in coaching space, there are numerous, branches. Someone can choose to coach only in organization, at a team, stay with teams. Someone can coach only a particular executive in our organization, which is a organizational requirement, or someone can help individually one-to-one. Someone can choose to coach in a group. So group coaching, it's another it's a one type of coaching, and then there are different areas of coaching. Like someone can talk about life, or wellness, or career, business coaching, entrepreneurship coaching, startup coaching. So many things are showing up these days. Now, wellness coaching. Now, the very common thing that we have in coaching is that all these different branches of coaching, if a coach is well developed, they're matured coaches, they actually go through all these um, different areas of life with the person or with the group that they are in, because you just cannot talk about wellness without knowing what their work life is, or without knowing how their connection is with with the clients, with their families, or with their partners, or how their relationship with their colleagues, how what is their position financially. So a well-developed coach will be curious about different areas of coaching, but still, from a training point of view, from a readiness point of view, from a focus point of view, we sometimes choose one particular side or branch of coaching. And my initial preference was health and wellness, which was my training from the National Board, and that actually covered all that I have shared so far, and many more. So, from a wellness coaching point of view, the concept is life continues. It's a continuum, right? So today I'm very healthy. Tomorrow I could be sick, and day after I could be healthier. So it's a continuum. There is no specific thing that, okay, once I'm healthy, I go to gym, I become healthy, and that's it. I'll be healthy rest of my life. There is no such permanence in life about anything, right? So continuum is a concept that we need to understand. And in health and wellness coaching, this is a primary concept. And the wellness coaching comes in when a client shows up in front of us, saying that they want a change in their wellness space, in their health aspect, and they want to do something about that. So, and when we do that sort of coaching, it always comes down to a change in their behavior. So it's not necessary for um, us to directly jump into the, okay, try to what are your behavior about what you do, and this is where you need to change, and what can you do about this. Absolutely not. So we will try to figure out from where the client is coming in, their pain, what their struggles are, reflecting whatever they're sharing with us. We observe, we reflect, we summarize what they're saying. We try to ask questions, mostly open questions, and sometimes closed questions as well. And if necessary, it is not necessary for us to be, very much non-directional about it. We could be direct. We could be asking permission to share concept, ideas, research, so that client can get some time to study those and come back and talk about those, have an educated decision. So we do all of that, but in due time, in due process. So in the training, we learn how to ask open question, how to summarize, how to reflect on whatever they're sharing, and those reflection could be very simple or could be very complex. Um, yeah. And at a due point of time, we come towards some sort of planning, which is in wellness coaching. It moves towards a bit of an action based planning, where in other form of coaching, when I talk to other clients who are talking about relationship or career or job transition, it is not always about taking a step. It's more about understanding and accepting their current situation. But in health and wellness coaching, it tends to be, planning driven, that there should be some goal in their continuum, in their journey of health and wellness. So they want to go somewhere, right? Whatever struggle maybe they are smoking and they're seeing us to understand how they can quit smoking, maybe. One just good example. So there is a destination for that client that, okay, at some point of time, they will quit smoking. And they are just figuring out what that might look like for them. So there has to be a behavioral change when we talk about health and wellness coaching. And the orientation for health and wellness coaching is self-determination, absolutely. It has to be coming within the client, whatever idea, whatever resource. And if we see if they are looking for resource, we are there. We have training, and we have understanding as health and wellness coaches about the physiology. We work as a health and wellness coach. The ideal framework for health coaches and wellness coaches are they sit in between the practitioner and the patient. So a doctor or a nutritionist or a dietitian who has license to prescribe a medicine or a lifestyle maybe to the client, and we sit, and then they after the prescription they hand the client over to us, and then we work with the client to implement that prescription, considering all the things that are going on in their life. So telling someone, hey, you need to quit smoking, that is what the doctor would say to them, right? Or the dietitian or nutritionist would say that, okay, whatever you are eating, if you're not quitting your smoking, then nothing will work, so you need to quit smoking. So it is telling what they are supposed to do. But everyone can do that, right? You do not need to go to a doctor to get that idea that, oh, I need to quit smoking. Probably everyone around you is telling, if you are smoking, I should smoke. So it is very natural to understand that, yes, we need to quit smoking. But how a person will gather the resource, the motivation, the hand holding, and the courage to quit smoking and to continue to walk with them, unless they will take one step maybe and fall back two step. So to the health coaches and wellness coaches will walk with them as long as they want the coach to be around, and at some point of time that happens. So that's how wellness coaching works. That's the orientation part. And the mindset, as I said, from a wellness coaching point of view, there is a mindset that is very important, I should mention here, which is about the stages of change. And these are all coming from whatever I have learned from my training and the teachers I have, the books I have read, wonderful books. When you will be interested, when you are interested, please reach out to Shabnam and we can share a lot of resources with you. So this concept of stages of change is that for a human being, when we talk about behavioral change, there are different stages human being can be. So contemplation, pre-contemplation, preparation. So pre-contemplation is absolutely. I know I need to quit smoking, but I'm doing perfectly all right. My dad smoked. My grandparent, maybe my uncle smoked, and they lived 80, 19 years. I do not feel anything. I'm doing just fine. So this is contemplation, a pre-contemplation. The other thing is contemplation is, yeah, I understand smoking is not good. But yeah, maybe some point. Yeah. So that is contemplation where I have an understanding. Probably I can see myself quitting smoking, but not right now. Um, and then preparation. Yes. Yeah. I think it's a good time for me to quit smoking now. I need some help. So that's his mindset. So you need we as a health and wellness coach, we need to understand exactly where the client is, and you know we sort of go there in that stage where they are and try to see the world from their point of view, not from our point of view, and understand their situation and value them for who they are, where they are. And there are so many things I can share. Maybe we would not happen. So this mindset of going there and being with the client, what we call is unconditional positive regard. This concept came from Rogers. If you have heard about and read about Rogers, he's a hero of mine, a teacher of mine, although he died long back. But yeah, I consider him as a teacher because I have learned so much from Rogers. So he came up with this concept of unconditional positive regard to our client. There cannot be any condition. We have to have the training and mindset to see the client as a whole, not broken, whole human being and fully resourced. So this is what we um, this is what the mindset is from a coaching point of view. We have to have that unconditional positive regard to our clients. All right. So whatever I have shared so far, if that has triggered any interest, then probably this slide would be interesting for you or important for you. That how you are going to be a wellness coach, and in that sense, how you become a coach, and that's actually yeah. So although we have learned the coaching concept that yes, this is what coaching is, and this is what wellness coaching is, and there are so many other aspects of coaching. Is wellness coaching is only one aspect, one window to look at our clients, but during coaching conversation we do not limit ourselves, and it is not humanly possible to focus, okay, hey, we would not talk about anything else but your health, so everything comes in. So once we understand that, then the question is how one can become a wellness coach. So the first thing is get excited, get interested, get some money, and get some time. So you need to secure a significant amount of time to really get a proper education about being a coach. Um, if you want to prepare, you need to get help. You need to, get help from a book, maybe from a coach that you are familiar with, or someone you trust who knows about coaching. I went to my mentor coach and get the initial idea, and then I got myself admitted into a school. So it has to be proper. It is rarely, although I know a few of the great coaches of today's time, who are not properly trained, but they are wonderfully good coach. So that is like, exceptions. But the most of the successful coaches today, they got through this diligent training. So you need to get that. And the educational mandates are to understand the coaching psychology, what that is. And you need to find a good training facility, despite having a mentor coach, or finding a good facility and then find the mentor coaches that are assigned to you and work with them on a daily basis. Find a community. I will talk about community a little bit in the next slide. And the supervision. Once you become a coach, you have to have the idea of having your own supervisor. This is end of story. You have to have that. If you think that, okay, I've just got a training, I know what coaching is, and now I can do it without having uh, a supervisor of your own, you will be really in trouble. And we all have our own supervisor. So it's ethically, we are bound to have a supervision. So these are few things that probably will be helpful to understand how to prepare for a coach and what you need to do. But if you really want to be a good coach, um, uh, um, what you need to learn, there is only one thing you need to do, and that is you have to have a community of coaches, which we call in our profession peer coaches, peer group. So you have to have a community, which I know Sabnam is trying to create in Bangladesh, which is amazing. I was impressed. So you have to have your own community where you can come while you are getting the training and when you are trained to have and continue coaching with each other. So this is what I did, what Shabnam did. Any trained coach you speak with, they will tell you the same thing. The only thing common is they had gone through with a peer group and still doing the peer group coaching every day. Uh, if it is every day, probably too much for now. We don't get enough time, but regularly and having our own supervisors. And that is where the practice comes in. So if there is only one thing you take away that how one can become a good coach, it has to be practiced. It it may sound very easy, and we often take ourselves for granted that we understand people and we can have a conversation. Um, I used to have some sort of idea like that, but trust me when I say that, when I say this, I came to understand how to listen to people once I got my training. I literally learned how to listen to people. So if you don't trust me, have a chat with me on one-to-one or Shabnam. I will explain you in more detail um, what I mean when I say that listening. Listening can be a 6 months long training. End of story. If you believe me. So it is that severe. So listening can be that complex. Most of the
Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree, Rajiv bhai. It's more than that.
Yes, yes. And most of the time, we when we have conversation, Shabnam, I used to do this. I listen when somebody's talking to me. I'm preparing how to respond to that, right? I'm not actually listening. I'm just preparing how to respond. So those will you need to brush those off when you become coach, and then really become a better human being, so that we can listen to each other. This is the last slide I have. This is what I love. This quote from Michelangelo, and this is all about coaching actually. That I saw the angel in the marble. So you all know the his famous sculpture of David. It was a sculpture worked by somebody else. It was a piece of stone, but he looked at it and he came up with David. Can you imagine that he saw that in a piece of stone? And I can't properly explain that how impactful this particular quote is for me. And this is about coaching as well. That when we coach, we actually bring the person in their presence so that they can you know, go and fly with whatever decision they make, be happy and find their peace. So this is exactly what we do as coaches. So Yeah, so that's more or less what I had in my mind, Shabnam.
Wow, great. We are into the process. So we have a participant with us, Aaron, Irina, and Aini. So if you have anything to share, feel free to ask and you can raise your hand. We can discuss. Um, it was really superb, Rajib Bhai. It's truly a great exploration how you pointed in a tree perspective in all area that orientation meaning and how to do that. I just want to acknowledge that you put the GL and consequence how we can become a coach and your acceptance of honesty that how you also go regular to your coach to assure the credibility of your session. So I feel being a coach, this is the challenge actually. When you mention that anybody can prescribe, a doctor, a person, as a family member, in terms of quitting smoking or adopting any good habit, we all can prescribe, we all can rebuke, we all can motivate, we all can share. But being a coach, having that journey with unconditional positive rigors, with Roger said, this is matters. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Such a concept, right? It's
yeah,
such a simple concept, but how beautiful that is, right? Yeah. Yeah.
and staying on that relationship without judgment, it
Mm-hmm.
matters most to a coach. So yeah, absolutely. I'm wondering because you were exploring those wellness coach and the area because you shared the branches. There are lots of branches emerged through coaching. So I'm curious to know, um, wellness coach, how it can be helpful to the parents or anyone actually when they can use in their life. And recently I have seen lots of parents actually they are suffering with their generation gap with Gen Z and the upper generation and in corporate house as well.
Yeah.
Company has different generations, so um, communicating with them and assuring wellness for everyone, those stress, those personal life, and with everything. So my curiosity, I really wish to know since we have you as a wellness coach with us, how it can be useful or what I need to learn because most of time we are not ready to go to a coach,
Hmm. Yeah,
right?
true.
So as a
Yes.
client, as a parents, as a corporate house, when actually we need to pay attention that yes, we need a coaching,
Yeah.
mostly wellness
Yeah.
coaching.
Yeah, that's such an important question, right? So from a parent point of view, let me share in the both areas. So from a parent point of view, um, it is so vital that we take parenthood for granted. Like we suddenly become a parent, and that's it. We know what to do, right? There is in a in, maybe in some of the developed places there are some training going on for the parents, right? There are in the when someone becomes pregnant, then both the father and mother goes to counselors and they get ready for the birth. And even after birth they also there are a lot of ways because there are a lot of institutions available for a parent to learn what to do better for their kids. And definitely the parents who are interested and curious, they study by themselves. So definitely there are ways to learn what they could do better. But first and foremost, I would say that before someone becomes parent, they are human being, right? So if they feel they have a necessity to be prepared for something. It could be parenthood, it could be a new job, it could be a new role in the same organization, or it could be a new enterprise they are taking up. If they have a necessity to get help, and if they have the courage to say, "Hey, I need help," to raise their hand, um, that is where coaching comes in. So the parents needs to learn ideally that okay, after giving birth to the kid, what could be the possible stress factors for the child. It is not about I'm keeping the child very safe and within my house. It is not that. What kind of food we are feeding that kid, whether that food is creating physiological stress or not. The conversation we are having, the whether when the kid is sleeping, whether I'm working in a light and the kid is sleeping within that light, right? Because ideally they should, when they were in the womb, it is a dark place, right? They need to recover. They have to be in a dark, quiet place. We often see in modern lifestyle, parents can't afford to have their kid in a separate room, so they maybe are working at the same room and the kid is sleeping there within that strong bright light. So these are the areas probably I could focus, and the food and the conversation we are having within our partners, how that could possibly impact the kid. Um, because we rarely consider, we think that, okay, it's a kid, they will not know what we are talking about. But interestingly, they are like sponges, right? So they will absorb. And that will shape their ideas and their personality. And we take those things very for granted. We think that, okay, until they learn to speak, whatever we are sharing or saying or listening, they will not know what is going on. But actually, they do. So these are the things that probably a parent, from a parent point of view, they can understand that how wellness coaching can help them from a food point of view, from a stress point of view, from a environment point of view. Um, Personal agency is something very important for a parent to know, that a kid needs to have that space to learn to make a choice. Not everything has to be fed to them. That okay, when you see this, you do that. When you do this, if that happens, you do that. So we all always telling kids what to do, right? We are not creating that personal agency. So if you don't learn this concept as a parent, that we have to develop that capacity of agency within the kid so that they can make choices from an early stage, and they do mistake within our control. We are not letting them go on the street, right? But we are letting them to make a choice in front of us so that they can learn to make the right choice after failing maybe a few times. Okay, so that is what I was thinking about the parenthood. And from an organization point of view, wellness coaching should be part of their ROI, should be part of their balance sheet. It is not a choice, it is not a fancy idea. Wellness coaching should be directly connected with their balance sheet, with their ROI. So if there is a strong business case for wellness coaching in organization, and I did have faced this question before. Um, we can talk about that on a separate session, maybe, because there are areas I need to highlight. But wellness coaching is not a choice for our organization these days.
That's so wonderful. And in perspective of, because for this 1 hour, we got lots of enlightenment that how wellness coaching can be helpful in each area, like corporate to parents, and in transition of new career, like I'm getting promotion,
Mm.
or I am I am taking a new job from my company, which is not similar to my new company or anywhere, right?
Or becoming a manager for the first time. Such a
Yes.
such a change, right? Such a big change for someone. We take it for granted usually.
And mostly in company, like the big company or any company, we are having conflict. in
Yeah.
teams, in organization. So we can use wellness coaching to get harmony into the team as well.
Right.
How or what you are thinking about it?
Yes.
Yeah. It's such an amazing exploration, Rajib bhai, with you, and thank you, Irina, for your text you have shared. It's so blessing to have a sibling like you that you are allowing time, which actually shows that how much importance the relationship and how it's empowering Rajib and me as well through us. So thank you so much, Irina, for being with us, and as well Aini and Aaron. Um, Rajib bhai, through you, we explored that what is wellness coaching, what is coaching as well, what are the branches, how we can become a coach, how we can use this. And we have a discussion that in our country, coaching is a totally new paradigm. And coaching is very effective tools, but most of us don't know what is it and how to use it. So today you enlighten those area how we can become a coach and having a mentor, having a supervisor, as well as taking a coaching training to assure clarity and credibility of our coaching. It's so powerful that I also felt encouraged, and I'm agreeing with you that we all have coaches. Like this year, I have two mentor,
Mm.
one mentor for one coaching, and I'm doing team coaching. So I also have one coach. And when I went to my coach, I am working. Like I can share one tips to all of you that the research session when I had with my coach, I shared that I have a inner feeling in my tummy when I want to jump in. I have a gush feeling in my tummy that yes, I want to say something. And then my coach actually explored to me how I can stop that and how I can become a good listener. And then with the guidance of her, I make a cards like these, and I always write on that wait 5 seconds. Whenever you feel that gush moment,
Yes. Yes. Take
start
that.
calm down.
You
And
know that stimuli and the choice.
yes,
So you need to
so
take that. Yes.
accepting that stimuli, that weakness, and working on it, it's so powerful that. And before that, I was having that, oh, I'm doing great, I'm doing great. But when I had a session with my coach, I found no, I was having an imposter syndrome that I am thinking I'm doing great, but oh my God, I'm just jumping into the session. I'm not allowing more time to my clients. So I felt being a coach, uh, it's a very I can say responsible job. It's an
Of course.
abstract moment. So being a coach, being with a client, first we need to be honest with ourselves, and we need to accept our weakness that I don't need to know all answer. This is the beauty also of a coaching, that I also need coaching.
Of
So
course. Absolutely.
with you today we have great exploration. We hope that this is not the ending, this is just the beginning. And our wonderful viewers, we can see hundreds of people watching us through all social media, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So, to all of you, you may dream to be a coach as well. That's so wonderful dream that you are ready to help others. So, with respect to your passion, that is start learning. This is a wonderful tools that can help you and us, all of us, to be a good leader, to be a good parent, to be a good sibling, because coaching help us to be more patient, to listen, to show respect, and to do a less judgment to others. That's so powerful. So I'm inviting all of you, and if you want to know more, definitely you can reach out to Rajeeb Rashid Bhai anytime, and you can do that through the leader. You can also connect with him in LinkedIn platform. Uh, it's it's a good journey and good invitation for all of us, because in our country we don't have that much wellness coach. Some people started to working with mental health, some people started to work as a psychiatrist. It's so good. And we have Rajeeb Bhai also with us, so it's like gem in more pearls, and that's a good invitation to all of us. So, with this invitation, I'm going to concluding today's webinar. But before concluding, there is another announcement for all of you, that you can go to our website if you wish to get coaching training in Bangladesh, or if you want to get coaching one-to-one or team based. You can visit our website, the leader, at your convenience. You can reach out to us and we can develop our partnership. Definitely, we have talent in our country. We have people with good heart like Rajiv Bhai with us, and all of people. That's so wonderful and amazing. You'll have a great adventure. And today's webinar, I also want to thank one of my peer supervisor, Anindita. Rajiv, we also know, because we met, Rajiv and me, we met, and we have a good partnership through Anindita. And Anindita is ambassador of China in EMCC Asia Pacific, and she is also my peer supervisor, and she is such an amazing coach and mentor. So, and with a great soul. When I met her and talking that in Bangladesh we are developing a coach community, and she jumped in and shared, Shabnam, I met wonderful Bangladeshi in Hong Kong, and you can actually contact with him. And that was such a wonderful invitation I had from her. So, from DLeader family, I'm thanking Anindita. Anindita, if you watch this video, you know we are really grateful to you.
Of course.
And
Yeah, absolutely. He's wonderful.
yeah, really. A great also coach as well. I have learned a lot of psychodrama tools from her. It was a great journey for me as well. And she started her supervision session. I'm also taking supervision session from her as well.
Same here. And she's so resourceful as well.
Yes, absolutely. So in Bangladesh, the all wonderful Bangladeshi people, Rajiv Bhai currently living in Hong Kong, but his soul being with us, and he committed to develop, contribute to the development of our country. So definitely we'll work more, we'll work together. Anytime, feel free to visit our website, DLeader. You can
Mhm.
ask me why we are not keeping our company's name ABC. Why it's D? Because D means dignify your leadership. We all lives our life for one time, so we should cherish our dignity and we should fight for our dignity together. So till that moment, stay blessed, have a good time,
I,
have
I
a
just I
yeah,
just need to say one thing that
yes,
Shabnam,
Rajiv.
again, whatever you are doing in Bangladesh is absolutely you by your own effort have become a IFC-PCC level coach, which is very senior considering the overall industry and the effort that you are making to create a community, the different work that you do. Really impressed about it, and it's a privilege for me to be here with you. Thank you, and we'll work together, I hope.
I'm grateful to your words, and you'll be happy to know there are currently 6 coaches, accredited coaches in our country. It's such an amazing news for us, and we
Really
there are
great.
nearly 20 plus people are in pipeline. So maybe within this year we are going to get more good newses from all those coaches, and lots of trainer currently enrolled for coaching courses. So it's really wonderful news for all of us that people, the top leaders actually currently working to be a coach, and when we all will be together, we can develop our peoples, we can make the wealth, happiness, wellness for our country people, and we can contribute more. So that's such an amazing thing. And I'm not doing that much thing, I'm just connecting dots. You
Mm.
all
Yeah,
are
sure.
amazing
That's completely.
resource. It's our pleasure from the leader. that we are being connected. So thank you so much. And definitely we'll work together. And Aaron, Aini, and Irina, thank you so much for staying with us. Lots of blessings for all of you and all wonderful, amazing souls who are currently with us through this live streaming and who are going to watch it later. Lots of blessings for all of you. Always remember we have only one life. So whatever situation we will face, we will pass it together with confidence and have confidence on yourself. You're such an amazing person. So just pass the time, pass the struggle, keep continuing. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Take care.
Take
Bye.
care.